When it comes to starting a business, especially if you're in Africa, Nigeria to be precise, there are things that you need to pay attention to. Don't just go into any business because you notice that people are in that particular business and they are making money and you just jump into it. I have 3 theses in this year that help me to focus on the kind of business that I want to go into, and that has been the most driver of my profit in business this particular year. And here are they. If you want to go into any business in Nigeria in 2024, this is what you should pay attention to. Number 1, pay attention to trend, right? You need to understand, where is the trend going? Is it going up? This business that you want to start right now, ask yourself this question: are people looking for this thing, or is going down? I see people make this mistake. They just jump into a particular business and they assume that they will make profit in the business because other people are making profit in that particular business. So what you should do instead, look for business that the trend is going up. The trend is on the upside. Another thing you should look for is business with a startup cost. That the startup cost is low. You don't want to start business with a very high startup cost, and when it's now time for you to scale up, you don't have money to scale it up. Another thing you should look for is business with high profit margin. Now the big question is this: can we have this kind of business? Yes, you can have this type of businesses. As a matter of fact, I even went ahead to do some research and I discovered some businesses that you can start with these 3 criteria. The trend is going up, the startup cost is low, and they have high profit margin, especially if you are starting this business, if you are in Nigeria starting this business. Now let's look at these businesses that I'm talking about. Now business number 1 is pure water business. Now people are looking for, people buy water every single day, and there is no amount of pure water companies that we are going to have in Nigeria that is going to make the competition too high, because the trend is constantly going up. If you can start pure water business, this is a lucrative business that you can start, especially if you move into an area with a lot of people, yet few people distributing, few companies with pure water business in that particular area. That's going to do very well. Startup cost is relatively very low and the profit margin is high. It's a steady money for you because of the demand is very high. Now, what step are you going to take? How can you go about starting this particular business? If you want to start this business, this is what I would advise. First thing, what you will do first is invest in pure water purification equipment, right? You need the equipment that you use in the pure water business. Number 2, source water from reliable suppliers. There are people who can supply you water used for pure water if you don't have a reliable source of water. Then the next thing is the packaging, right? You package it properly and you distribute your pure water. You package it either in the pure water package, or you decide to bottle the water itself. And some of the requirements you will need when you are doing this usually is NAFDAC number. And it's not difficult to get NAFDAC number for pure water business. This is a business that you can scale up and start bottling the water and even move into some other kind of drinks that you think can also do well. So this is a business that meets the criteria I'm talking about, that you can go and start now in Nigeria. Let's move into business number 2. Now, what is business number 2? Business idea number 2, but this might be funny, but it will shock you. Grass cutter business is a business that is doing very, very well. Bush meat farming, not just any kind of bush meat, but grass cutter to be precise. This business model right now is booming. I know somebody who is into grass cutter farming, and the guy making so much. I was shocked to see the demand. The demand is so high, especially for grass cutter. So if you just get some knowledge about it, right? Start a grass cutter, look for somebody who knows about the business before you go into it. Like I always say, if you jump into any business without having knowledge about the particular business, you are definitely going to lose your money. So if you have money to invest in this particular business, the first thing you're going to invest in is in knowledge, or you have a partner, then you go into it. Startup cost is moderate. This is not very low because you need to get a place where you rear the grass cutter and you also get grass cutter itself. Now, how do you start the business? Here are some ideas that you can employ to start this particular business. First, you have to learn about the grass cutter farming. Then 2, set up a breeding cage where you can set up the breeding cage for the grass cutter. There is a way carpenters do these cages, and you do them in a way that your grass cutter will not die. Step 3 is you breed and raise the grass cutters in these cages. Then sell this meat to restaurants, sell it to individuals, sell it on the road, motor parks, like everywhere. People are looking for grass cutter to buy, right? Because it's not something you find everywhere and every day. That's idea number 2. Let's move to business idea number 3. Now, business number 3 is Tailoring business. This one requires skill. You need to be a tailor to be able to do this business well, right? Or you have somebody who will be able to do the tailoring part for you while you run the business itself. The requirement here is little capital, you get a machine. If you don't know how to sew, you get somebody who knows how to sew and you guys share the profit. But the capital, usually you get one manual machine and also one automatic machine, the one that uses light. But you can start with the manual machine, right? Profit margin here can be very rewarding because of the type of clothes you are going to be sewing, the type of style, especially if you are good. You package this in very well, the profit margin is usually very big. How do you start? Step by step, how to start. Step number 1 is to learn tailoring skills, right? Through formal training or apprenticeship. Like I said, you can get somebody else that can be that person who is sewing while you be the business person in the business. Acquire essential equipment like sewing machine, scissors, needle, thread, measuring tapes, and the list goes on. Even some mannequin that you can use to be showcasing your product after you sew. Find a good location with foot trekking and visibility, where people pass the most, where you know it's a junction where people can pass. Don't go and look for one corner that everybody that pass there are poor people. When they say people pass even with their cars, with their bikes, just be visible, right? You want to attract people with money for your business. Build a portfolio, showcase your product online, and market your services through flyers, local media, social medias, and word of mouth. Keep your cost low when you are starting. Make sure you get low price material that are also with quality, right? So this just means that you need to learn how to price, you need to learn how to buy the materials that you use in sewing clothes so that you can make profit. If you can follow these steps, then especially if you have the skill, then it's good. If you are thinking about skill to learn and you love fashion, then tailoring business might just be the business for you to start in 2024 and beyond. Let's look at business number 4. Business number 4 is gum tree business. This is somehow unique. A lot of people, some people have never seen gum tree before, like you've never seen it. So I was opportune to see it when I went to village in Edo State. So I saw these gigantic gum trees, and that's how I see people removing gum from the tree and all that. That was the first time I had encounter with that tree. So you can start a gum tree business. Startup cost is very low. Profit margin is very huge. Gum Arabic has various applications. Now, but how do you start this particular business? You plant a gum tree, or you get people who already have gum tree and you go and you harvest the gums. You pay them for it, you harvest the gums. Yes, step number 2 is harvesting of the gum. Then step number 3 is process the gum and sell them. They can be used for cosmetics, all the makeup you use, all those things, they use them, right? In drugs, even in food that we eat. So the use case is huge. Usually, this is a business that you can go into if you have passion for this particular kind of business, or you are in this particular line. It's a business that you can go for. Business idea number 5, egg delivery business. This is a no-brainer. We all know how we need egg, how people need egg, right? So egg delivery business is a very good one. How do you go about it? The startup cost is minimal. Profit margin is steady because of the demand for egg. People eat egg, no worry yourself. People, they eat egg, my brother. So how do you start? You raise chickens for egg production. That's option number 1. Option number 2 is you can get a wholesale egg, right? Somebody who is selling wholesale egg as a wholesale. You being a retail person, you can buy from the person. Then you establish your own delivery network and supply eggs to household, to restaurants, and to shops who are selling also as retailers. And that is how you run this particular egg delivery business. Then here you have it. Step number 6 is go and implement this business. If you don't know how to implement them, then you need to watch the next video about steps on how to start business in 2024, where I explain step by step on how you can start these businesses. Go watch it and start your business. See you in the next video, guys.